So for the brewery section, we are going to jump through this window, and then immediately we're going to go around the right side of the door and make our way in. And this strategy relies on no special movements and one arrow distraction. So let's get into it. As we go in, we're going to jog forward until we're about here, and then crouch. And we're going to crouch around behind the two WLF who come to confront us. Squeeze through this gap.
Look for a way out.
And keep crouching up to this wooden pillar and group of boxes. Now what we want to do is, as soon as the woman by us is pointing a gun, we want to shoot an arrow. That should distract both the guy with the axe and the guy with the shotgun. And that should throw the patterns off enough, both to allow us to get into cover here and to allow us to get to the door unscathed. So what we're going to do is, as soon as the shotgun guy comes past our position, we are going to move and duck. And we're going to swim straight towards the door. And then we're going to aim towards the shelving just by it, so that we can duck into cover immediately. Check no one's looking. And then push out and through.
Go. Okay.
So that strat is one of multiple strats where it involves swimming to the exit rather than fighting everyone. Although it might seem scary, particularly if you've got some familiarity with dying in Brewery, it's actually fairly reliable. And unlike some of the other ones, it doesn't rely on any special movements like sprint jumps or any more underwater swimming than is absolutely necessary, which is the last straight line. There is one very, very slight chance that you can be seen by someone turning and shining the torch in your direction, which is why we aim for where we do, to be able to jump behind those shelves and hide there. And as long as we're doing that and not just coming out in the open and immediately going for the door, that has so far mitigated all of the risk of being spotted at that point. And as long as you do the movement right, and as long as you do the arrow distraction, as soon as the woman by you is pointing a pistol ahead and the two that you're trying to distract have split away from the position, then it works. If you leave the arrow distraction too late, then obviously you risk bumping into other people's movement patterns, which is why getting that shot off as soon as is physically possible is important. But other than that, that's the strat. So we're about to drop into the Overpass area and the restaurant, Taco Bell as it's colloquially referred to, at the end. There's a couple of ways we can do this. So first of all, I'm going to do the way that's fastest and generally works, but does, as you might expect, come with some risk. So for that one, we're going to jump down.
Where do we go?
And immediately go prone.
Okay.
We want to get
Follow
to
my lead.
the melee guy fast. And as he moves, then we want to run. We may take a shot there, but it shouldn't matter. diving again. And we're diving into this tuft of grass. Then we want to hit that woman in the head. And immediately jump over and aim for the horse. The alternative to this, essentially, is to move slower and let the battle play out.
Here we go. All the stone bridges. Okay, follow my lead.
And then from there, we deal with any survivors you find as a result. We may or may not wish to intervene as it goes along. That's entirely up to you. Whichever way you go with it, the end result is that you want to
any more of those freaks around?
That was very silly of me, and I got lucky that they'd already killed the Seraphites, but it is safer to just wait in those circumstances. Stick to the long grass. Not want too many WLF around, so that's why it might be beneficial. To side with the Seraphites for a while. The WLF tend to win this fight anyway, so as you can see, even with us taking some of the WLF out, they're still holding their own quite well. Either way, when only one side is left, which seems to be the case, that's the side that you want to then take out the rest of. I was wrong. There is a lone Seraphite running around in there, it seems. So what we're going to do... intervene in a way that benefits us.
What's wrong with you?
Abby, I have an idea. I don't see anybody. Don't let your guard down.
If you choose to go this way, be aware that it's slower by a considerable amount than the previous strategy, and who wins and who loses can vary. How many are left can vary, and it can involve a lot of waiting around in the grass, depending on how you choose to play. But as long as you don't do anything too reckless that gets you caught too close to someone with a shotgun or a rifle, it's probably the safest way to go.
Lev, come on! You know how to ride? More or less.
Either way,
keep low.
the horse
Keep
ride
running the way. Up ahead.
is fairly straightforward.
Here we go. Get ready.
The only people you really need to take out are the guy who jumps on the horse. If you can shoot him first, that avoids a hit.
Careful.
Otherwise, as long as you've got health kits ready for afterwards, it doesn't matter too much. You will have to take out the 3 horse riders when we reach Haven
Haven.
in a moment.
Should we
other
still
than
go
that,
there?
you can just
I don't know.
follow right through.
The
And even
boats are
if,
there.
as I just did then, you miss every shot, it hardly matters.
Nothing is stopping us. Nothing is stopping us. Hang on! Abby! Oh, fuck!
Burn in hell, you wretched!
Get away from us! Hang on, we're going through! Shit!
With those 3 dead,
Nothing.
you're safe going through. Even the next guy who appears on the horse, you can get away with missing your shots on it.
Ryder! Cover us!
Demonstrate.
Oh god! Whoa!
We're still alive at the end of it.
The horse! Okay, we have to keep moving.
This is the main thing I save my
there.
health kits for,
The docks!
to do a full heal up before the final section. And then again here, there's a way to run right through.
Abby, this way.
I'm not going to demonstrate because it's a lot easier here than in the overpass to get stun locked at the end. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to crouch down,
Leave any of these things alive!
and then make our way over to the right. So we're mostly going to be a spectator in fighting here. Only really killing if we need to clear a path or speed things along. For example. Once we're at this vantage point, we can snipe a little.
She will save us! Can't! Wipe them out!
And then again, we're mostly waiting for to see how many manage to kill each other so that we can deal with the remainder. Pipe bombs come extremely handy in this section, as you can imagine. And a useful trick to know with pipe bombs is that you can simply hover the reticle over someone in the distance, even if it doesn't lock on, and then throw, and it will hit them at most distances. This obviously doesn't count if you are in a roof
Doctor, just
building.
over this hill.
Lily! You brought the
It will bounce back. But if you're outside,
Your life ends here, Wolf!
that's extremely useful. So this also works with bricks. Obviously the stun was awkward because her head was behind cover, but as you can see, it's a useful tactic. And we have more than enough health. But yeah, killing all is by far the easiest way to approach this.
We'll find another way.
And the main strategy for it is using the war between them, keeping in stealth as much as humanly possible, and only really kind of popping up to snipe when you need to clear a path. And I mentioned earlier that the technique of wiggling the stick is not useful for crossing these beams.
We gotta get
The
out
way
of
to
here
cross
fast.
these beams safest is to sprint to the middle, then hold aim,
The supports aren't going to
turn,
I know.
and sprint again.
The fire's burning.
Which gets you over far quicker than you would otherwise, and minimizes the risk of you being caught in a place where you might tilt. And then to close out the haven section, we're once again fighting a brute, and once again the rule of two applies.
Damn you!
Dodge his attacks. 2 strikes and no more. that, he's done. And it's just a case of passing QTEs to finish him off.
Damn it. Are you okay?
And finally, it is possible to die in this last section by dawdling too long. So what we want to do is make our way straight to where we'll find the boat and push it off in order to end Abbey Day 3 of one final confrontation. So here we are at the confrontation, which can be very scary on grounded first time you do it, and it can seem very chaotic, but it's quite straightforward to make, simpler than it might appear at first glance, and that's what we're going to do. So in the initial area, let Ellie take these first two shots while staying crouched. The third shot will always miss,
Don't you fucking
so it's safe to run at that point. And then once we get control of Abby again after the brief skirmish with Ellie, we are going to move around to the left.
Motherfucker!
Follow around these boxes. And then we're going to wait for Ellie to come into our view here. And jump over. And then we're going to wait in this corner. And once Ellie's on her way back, we jump over once again. And then we jump over behind her. And stop. And then from here, once this QTE's happened, we are going to be obviously dodging the shotgun blast. And then we are going to move around again to the left once we've dodged it, making sure not to touch the dangling chain.
Motherfucker!
So we move around here, grab this bottle, go prone.
You can't stop this!
And then we're waiting for the lock on to Ellie for the bottle, but also that she's facing away, like so.
Fuck!
And then after this cutscene has ended, we are going to be on to go immediately to the right. So where Ellie flees from us, we'll be back by the chains where she shot the shotgun initially. Go to the right, pick up this brick, climb over this box, and we're waiting here. Ellie is somewhere over there where the reticle is generally gestured towards, but we can see... she's coming back, because she's going to find a place to plant a trap mine. And we're going to wait till it's fully planted, and then blow it up. The positioning on the final trap mine varies. So you have to kind of watch where she runs around to, and sometimes the angle is awkward, so you might have to kind of reposition yourself to be able to hit it. But that strategy works every single time, essentially. Now, the next thing to be aware of, especially if you decide to do permadeath, is that on this first frame here, where you've got the option to skip the cinematic, you're going to want to do so, particularly if Ellie has planted any other trap mines before the one that you blew up. Because there is a chance when you teleport to where the cutscene is rendered in engine, it will trigger the trap mine and you will get a death in the middle of the cutscene, which still counts as a death for permadeath. So that's why you will see the hastiest cutscene skips that you will ever see at the end of the confrontation here. But yeah, that essentially is the route to safely and successfully get through the confrontation. If you enjoyed this video, then give it a like and consider subscribing to keep up to date with all my content. Like the video that's just popped up, which YouTube thinks you should watch next. This is a Patreon and member supported channel, so if you want to become a member and unlock custom badges and emojis, early access to my videos, and your name in the credits, then click the join button below. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.